Hello everyone. In this video, we will see some intermediate problems, loop related intermediate problems, right? So we will start from the Fibonacci series, guys. So we will, bring the program first and then try to explain the things. But I need to explain what Fibonacci series. So the first number of Fibonacci series is 0 and next one is 1, okay? And then next one is 0 plus 1 equals 1. And then the next one is 1 plus 1 equals 2, and the next one is 2 plus 1 equals to 3, and the next one is 3 plus 2 equals to 5, 5 plus 3 equals to 8. So that means, guys, every number, uh, any number in a Fibonacci series is the sum of previous two numbers, guys, okay? So so we will get the program and try to explain how it actually works, right? In my screen you see enter the numbers of terms, okay? So how many numbers you want of Fibonacci series? You can take 5, 10, whatever you want, right? So now you will get the input from the user scanf, and we will store this input in this end, right? So now print a Fibonacci series, and now we have the for loop, okay? So if we visualize this for loop here, you see in the first iteration, you see here, uh, I starts from 1 and I is less than or equal to n. So let's say we take 5 or 10, whatever. Let's say 10, okay? So we want 10 digits of Fibonacci series, 10 numbers, right? So 1 is less than 10, so it will uh, enter into the loop. So 1 is less than 10, it will enter into the loop. Now print t1. So what is t1? T1 is the first number of Fibonacci series. So which one is first number? 0, right? So we declared this t1 in the beginning. T1 equals 0, okay? So we're just considering the flow, okay? So in general we don't think about the variable first in real life, right? So we in reality we will think enter the number, okay, enter the terms. So this is what we will think first. So that is why we start from this line. So this helps me to this gives me some comfort, guys. This is why I just put this in a way, right, in this way. So now t1 is 0 and next term would be t1 plus t2. So t1 is 0 and t2 is t2 is a 1. We declared t2 as well, okay? And there is nothing in the next term. So t2 is 1 and next term would be t1 plus t2, and 0 plus 1 equals 1, right? So now t1 gets the value of t2, right? So t2 was 1 and now t1 is getting the value 1. So you can say t1 has moved to the next one, or you can say t1 has got the value of the next one, however you visualize, right? So t2 would be the next term, guys. What is next term? Next term is 1 and t2 is getting the next term 1, right? So for the second iteration, I is 2 now and 2 is less than 10, it's true. So we will enter into the loop again, and t1 is 1 now because t1 is 1. In the previous iteration t1 was 1, so we are getting t1 here. Next term, so what is next term, guys? Next term is t1 plus t2, right? So t1 was 1 and t2 was 1 2, so this will make 2, right? Now t1 equals t2 equals 1, okay? So that means uh, t1 is getting the value t2, so t2 is 1. So we are putting 1 here, and t2 is next term. So what is next term? Next term was 1, okay? So sorry, next term in our second iteration, next term is 2, so t2 is getting 2 here, right? So for the third iteration, you see I3 and 3 is less than 10, it's fine, and t1 should be t1 should be 1 here because previous iteration t1 was 1, right? So next term would be t1 plus t2. So 1 plus t2 was 2, right? So 1 plus 2 equals 3, and t1 is getting the value t2, right? So t2 was 2 and t1 will get the value 2, and t2 would be the next term. Next term is 3 and t2 would get the value 3, right? So you just need to visualize these things, guys. So I made this video before, but I forgot to record my screen, and then I'm trying to making this video again. So this is why you're getting everything ready made, okay? So fourth iteration, right? So fourth iteration, same thing will happen. 4 is less than 10, fine. T1 would be 2, right? Previous iteration T1 was 2, and T1 plus T2. So T1 is 2, T2 was 3, right? You see here, T2 was 3 and T1 was 2. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. So now T1 is getting the value T2. So T2 was 3, the previous iteration. It's getting the 3, and T2 would be the next term. Next term is 5. So it will, 5 will be here. So now for fifth iteration would be, 5 is less than 10 anyway. So it's T1 is going to be 3, guys, right? And T2 is going to be 3 plus 5, 8, and T1 is getting the value T2 again, 5, and T2 is next term is 8. So this is how it will increase, guys. So what you can do, you can visualize the rest. Okay, so try to visualize the thing, and the best thing could be, writing this program uh, in your in your compiler, and copy that code, maybe copy this part for loop, and try to visualize things, guys. Okay, so place the value here and try to, reconcile your brain, right? Anyway, so after Fibonacci series, we will get a program of, number patterns, right? So you see here pattern. So where, in first is 1, and then new line 1 2, and then 1 2 3, and then 1 2 3 4. So we will have to print this one, right? So if you see here the program, what we will do here, right? So you just need to, visualize code, guys, and everything will be clear to you. So now we will enter the rows here. How many rows? 1 2 3 4. How many rows you want to? So in our case, we got 4 rows, right? So you see, we got 4 rows here. 1 2, 1 2 3 4, 4 rows. And now we will take the input from the user. So, and this input is stored in this value, right? So now for loop starts from 1, and 1 is less than, if you want 4. So you see the pattern code, first iteration, right? So you can say this is outer for loop. So first iteration can be written in the below, right? Below this one. Anyway, so now and I is less than 4 or equals to 4, that is true. So we are going to the inner for loop, guys. You can say we have inner for loop, right? So j is 1, and you see here the condition, j is less than or equal to I, right? So what is I here, guys? I is 1 and j is also 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 1, right? It's true, because 1 is not less than 1, but it's equal to 1, right? So it will enter into the loop, and uh, it will print I, print j. So print j is 1, so it will print j. Okay, it will try to iterate again. J will be plus plus, so 2 would be, it would be 2 would be, greater than 1. So this will, terminate here. So after terminating from this for loop, it will come into the next line and print a new line. Okay, so when it prints new line, then the program goes in, starts again, because, we will have to make a new line here, otherwise we can't print that part, right? So you can see in my screen now. So for the, for the second iteration, outer for loop, this was, this would be our second iteration, right? So for integer I equals to 2, I'll be 2 here, and 2 is less than 4. It's true, it will go into inner for loop, right? Inner for loop first iteration, j will be for 1, and 1 is less than 2 because I is 2 here, right? So so j, it will print 1, guys. First it will print 1. Okay, so j will be plus plus, the j will be increased by 1. So it will get another iteration, inner for loop second iteration, right? So j will be 2 here. 2 is less than or equal to 2, that it's true, right? So it will print j again. So after finishing this 2 iteration, it will print a new line, right? So so you also, you can see here we're getting 1 and 2, right? So 1 2, and after that we have new line 1 2 3. So we'll go for the next iteration, guys, here, right? So you see outer for loop, this would be outer for loop's third iteration, guys. Third iteration, right? So I would be 3 here. 3 is less than or equal to 4. This is true. And we will go to the inner for loop. Inner for loop first iteration, we will print 1. Okay. Uh, and now it will increase again. It would be 2. So we'll get another iteration, guys. And it will increase again, right? So when it increases again, so we will get inner for loop third iteration, guys, right? Inner for loop third iteration. So j would be 3. 3 is okay, 3 is less than or equal to 3, guys, right? So okay, third iteration, uh, everything would be, we need to change everything, guys. Inner for loop, this would be here 3. So I would be 3 here, right? So you can see here, guys, our I is less than less than or equal to n, right? So so j would be less than or equal to I, right? When j is less than or equal to I, that means I is 3 here, right? Here 3. So you will get 3, 1 2 3, right? So now it will terminate, guys, because 3 is not equal, uh, 4 is not possible, because so now this is our inner for loop, guys. So the outer for loop would increase again, right? Outer for loop would be 4 now. Okay, so for 4 we will have this same 4 iterations. For 4 we will have same inner 4 iterations, and we will get 1 2 3 4 and then a new line. So this is how this thing is printed, guys. Okay, if we provide here 4, you see, I hope you understand this code, guys. And now we have a palindrome number, guys. Okay, so what is palindrome number and everything we will discuss now. See, what is palindrome number? So some numbers are like 111, right? So if you reverse the number, it will give you the same thing. Okay, so if you provide like 121, so if you reverse the number, you will get the 121 again. So these kind of numbers are called palindrome number, guys. Okay, so how to check this kind of number, we will have this program to show us. Okay, so now we will say enter the number and we will get the input, right? So now this number is being stored in the original variable, and this original variable is declared in a previous, right? So you can declare later when you need. Okay, it's up to you. So when we write this line, then we may realize that we need, you know so when while number is not equal to 0, then digit modulus 10, right? So what we will do, okay, palindrome number, get this while loop, guys. Okay, so let's say we have 121, right? 121 and 0. So digit would be number. Number means 121 modulus 10, right? Modulus 10. So what number you will get, guys? You will get modulus. So you will get 1, right? Because 12 into 10 equals 120. Then we will have 1 rest. So now reversed, in this reversed, you will say reversed is 0 before, right? So reversed was initialized as 0. You see, reversed was 0 and 0 into 10. So you will realize how it works actually. 0 into 10 and plus digit. So what is digit? Digit is 1, right? So it would be 0 into 10 into 0, digit would be 1. Okay, so number would be 121 divided by 10. Okay, so here you will get, so how we can write, you already know this number equal to number into number divided by 10, right? So number is 121 divided by 10 would be 12, right? So we'll get 12 here. This was our first iteration, guys. This was our first iteration. In the second iteration, maybe 121 not equals to 0. The second iteration, digit equal to 120. Just here we will have 12, right? So 12 modulus 10 would be 2, guys, right? So here reverse into 10 digit. Okay, so here you will get, digit would be 2, and in the previous iteration reversed was 1, right? So 1 into 10 into 10 plus 2, so it would be 12, right? 12. So number would be, number was 12, so 12 would be divided by 10 and we will get, result 1. Okay, so in our next iteration, this would be our third iteration, guys. Third iteration, digit would be, number modulus 10, right? So number is 1, modulus 10 means 10 doesn't go in 1, so we will get 1 as remainder, right? This would be, our remainder reserved. So reserved is 10 in, reserved into 10 digit, right? So what was reserved before? Reserved was 12 in the previous iteration, right? So here we will get, 12 into 10. Okay, so and the digit, what is the digit here? Digit is 1, right? So for this iteration digit is 1, so 12 into 10, 120 plus 1 would be, 121, and number would be 1 divided by 10, so we will get result 0, right? When you get 0, this for loop would be false, guys. So it will, this while loop would terminate, guys. Okay, so now if original is equal to reserved, okay, so whatever reserved we get, is this reserved is equal to the original, then we'll say the percentage d is a palindrome, right? Otherwise you will say percentage d is not a palindrome. Okay, so I hope you understand the code, guys. So I hope these programs will help you to understand the loop. And if you want to understand the difference between the loop, while loop, do while loop, for loop, you can watch in my C programming videos, guys. Maybe that video is 12 or 13 number video. Anyway, and you can, ask ChatGPT too, or maybe you can ask in YouTube as well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.